the MySpace page of Huey Freeman, just so people believe that I make this. I am the guy who created the MySpace Huey Freeman fan page. It's generally taken as the serious one on MySpace. I created that MySpace page back when the show was just been announced. I had been a fan of the comic strip for a while, and I wanted to create a fan page so that people could get into the show and get into the message behind the Boondocks and what Aaron McGruder was trying to do. So I created it, and unlike the other Huey Freeman pages and Boondocks pages, I posted blogs and posted videos and everything like pertaining to issues that I thought Aaron McGruder was addressing in the shows. Obviously, I'm not black. I'm Hispanic, but we have the same struggle. So I felt that my political views were similar enough to Aaron McGruder's that I could make a pretty accurate Huey Freeman page. So I started doing this. At first, it was just sometimes a little bit here and there, but then it started to get really serious. The Boondocks was becoming a hit. I started getting a lot of friend requests and everything, and people were actually reading the blog. And so I started writing very seriously. Like, I would plan out to write blogs pertaining to things. And you know, and it was going good for a while. It was pretty great. The first season was amazing. Aaron McGruder, he did a great job with it, and I was loving it. The Huey Freeman page was getting great, and people were reading the blog, and it wasn't so much about you know, the fact that people were reading what I was writing, but rather the message, because at the end of the day, they don't know that I was writing it. So it was going good. At one time, it even like made like the top 10 blogs of MySpace for a minute, but it was good. Second season comes around. I have mixed views about it. There was one, I mean, he kind of made up for it the last few episodes, but Aaron, if you ever see this, it was a really crappy season, man. Just like the whole message of like season 1, it just seems to have been brushed aside. I remember the one episode where I forget, I think Granddad is like starting dating women, and the one woman she dies at the end because the car blows up. I was like, I literally said no out loud to nobody in particular, because I was just that disappointed in the show and what had become. And you recently announced that season 3 is coming, which hopefully is an improvement. But the Huey Freeman page, lately, I mean for a while now, I just really haven't addressed it lately. Like, I have posted blogs, but not to the level that I was doing it. Partly because I've haven't had time since I'm in university, but partly because I'm starting to get a little bit disturbed about what the Boondocks is becoming. Increasingly, I felt that the Boondocks has become more and more like Dave Chapelle Show, and everybody knows why Dave Chapelle quit that show, because people weren't getting the message behind it. And you know, when I would go on the Huey Freeman fan page, the MySpace page, people would, you know, like, I was still getting a few dedicated people reading the blog, but a lot of times it's just like people like all ages and stuff, you know, 15-year-olds up to like 30-year-olds. But they wouldn't be getting the point of the Boondocks. They would just come up to me like, Huey, man, I love you. Let's go beat up Riley. Blah blah blah. Like, I love this show, you know. But then I'd be like, oh, you know, have you read anything about Huey Newton? They wouldn't know. They would just Wikipedia it, you know. And I started getting very upset about this. So I stopped writing. I made it less of a priority to run the Huey Freeman page. I've changed a lot over the years. It's been years since I've had this MySpace page. The one thing about Huey is that he's a very cynical character, and simply put, he's not happy. He really is never happy. And I understand that's the point. And when I first started creating the page, I was really like this. But over the years, I've become a bit more content with life, a bit more accepting of how things are. The politics are still there, you know. I'm not one who'll go out anymore and be like, yeah, we gotta take it to the streets, you know. If somebody asks me, I know what they're talking about. But it's not a point that I make it known that I have these views, that, you know, that I that I've read about Huey Newton, Eldridge Cleaver, Malcolm X, that I know this stuff, you know. I've become a lot more open, a lot more social. Basically having a life, you know, being happy. And, you know, at the end of the day, Huey Freeman is a cynical 10-year-old. And it's great, you know, that he has these views, but he cannot separate his political views from his life. You know? And I was like that, but that in real life, that doesn't really work out too well. So I've stopped being so political. But the point really is that, and why I've checked the Huey Freeman page is because people aren't getting the message. I will flat out say it, I do not believe people are getting the message anymore. And especially with Season 2, the message was completely lost, I felt. Except for maybe the BET episode and maybe a couple others. I don't know, it's been like 2 years. And hopefully Season 3 will be different. But people aren't getting the message. And if Season 3 isn't an improvement, I think Aaron McGruder should just do what Dave Chapelle did and call it quits. Alright? Dave Chapelle, like, don't become BET. Do not become like BET at all. In regards to the Huey Freeman page, yes, I've grown very upset about what the Huey Freeman page has become. You know, whenever it seems like a lot of spam bots, but whenever I get the few good comments, whatever, it's always, you know, either little kids or people who will ask me things, but it's something they should look out on their own rather than going to me. You know, like they'll be like, tell me about the Black Panthers, and you know what? Just read a book, man. You know, I even had posted one of my friends. I think the Look It Up movement. Yes, it is the Look It Up movement. Damn, I'm on 9 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna go to stop this so I can make another video.